Namaste. Hail and blessed be. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Olivia Kahlo, and I am the author of this very small and easy to read and execute health psychology workbook called The 7 Sacraments of Health. And in it, I discuss what I consider to be a more gentle approach to our health and well-being than frequently we find ourselves confronting in the culture. So as a person who used to be something of a dancer, but I quit dancing about 30 years ago, but I was never, other than that, particularly an athlete. And so I find that for me, coming into fitness can be really intimidating and overwhelming when I look at images of really strong, beautiful women who are ripped to shreds and just, full of confidence. And I admire them, but I sometimes feel that I can never live up to that. And so I started, one day I was just out walking and I heard a voice say, "This is a sacrament. This is a sacrament, and your dedication to health is a sacrament." And so that kind of just began a little metanoia within me of reorganizing my thoughts around health and the approach to health. So for some of you who have been with me, you'll know that I am in recovery now from my 3rd COVID infection. And so one of the things that happens to people who study a topic, I do have a graduate degree in applied psychology with an emphasis in health psychology. This is not a counseling degree, nor is it a PhD, which is something I'm still considering. But at this point, I am not a licensed counselor. I cannot call myself a counselor or psychotherapist. So that's my disclaimer. This is just me sharing what I've learned and my embodied experience of health, wellness, and how I can most lovingly, gently embrace what I call the 7 sacraments of health. And those are mindfulness, food, community, movement, nature, gratitude, a huge one, and rest. So I'm coming out of my period of rest. But so what I was going to say a minute ago is one of the things that happens to people that deal on a topic but then feel like they can't be a perfect example of it, i.e. health, is imposter syndrome. And I deal with that a great deal. So each of these that I talk about are not sacraments that I have mastered. I will never master them, but I do incorporate them. I do practice them. What happened? Somebody got nervous. I guess someone's cooking downstairs. So we practice, and that is our task. So today I am still practicing rest, but I am also moving into recovery and a reset. Now, I haven't written anything about reset. It's just something that I think we all like to do, and I've just experienced, or I am in the time of the witch's New Year. So though I don't call myself a witch, I do have a pagan practice, and this is our new year. And so I felt like this would be a good time, as I'm at least 4 days away from my first negative COVID test. So I feel up and down still, but I feel like I can begin to exercise again. So I wanted to invite you in to see how a rest and recovery reset might look. And because we want to take the intimidation factor away, and we also want to give ourselves lots of permission. I don't do Calvinism. We want to give ourselves lots of permission to be very gentle with ourselves and to approach discipline with love and self-compassion. So what it looks like for me today is nothing fancy. I'm basically, look, I've got my bed ready to get back into it after I exercise because I've got an episode of the morning show to watch, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but I'm gonna do something because I want to put a small amount of stress on my muscles just to challenge the mitochondria, because one of the things that researchers are theorizing about COVID and long COVID is mitochondrial damage. So let me just shut this. What I want you to notice is that all I have on my floor is a bed cover, a nice soft, I don't know what this is. It's not flannel. It's whatever, fleece, I think. Really just to sort of make the floor a little softer on my back. And I also have a cushion that I will use when I do abdominals. I will place under my coccyx, because you don't want a lot of weight right against the floor on that sacral end of your spine. So what I think I'm going to start with, so I've got some ankle weights here, and I've got some little 8-pound weights right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do what I call my modified preacher curls. So I just lean back a little bit. Okay, so for my second exercise, I took my bum off of the pillow because I want to remain grounded. And these are 8 pounds, and I weigh, I think, about 115 pounds, so I'm not super strong. 8 pounds, I then probably the most I would be able to press are 15 pounds. So that's where I'm at, but I'm going to take my 8-pounders and I'm just going to do 12. Okay, and I'm feeling that, okay? So I'm okay. You probably don't want your heart rate to get too high, especially if you're recovering from COVID. And also, before exercising, you should probably have your physician clear you to exercise. So I just did 12, I forget what these are called. They're just like an overhead press. And I really feel it in the tricep area as well as this deltoid. I believe that's the deltoid. So I feel it there. Not as much in the bicep, but you can see there's a little stimulus happening. Now, my big problem area is this, and that is so common for women, especially postmenopausal. So I've got the bat wings and I've got a little menopausal belly, and these are just things that we deal with as we're aging. So anyway, and then I think what I will do next, and I will use my cushion to slightly elevate the rib cage area. And let's see, what you want to do, these are called flies, is your palms will face toward one another. I'm gonna come down a little, and this just sort of gives you a slight, without being like you're on a bench press, but a slight extra stress on the down portion. So bent elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. 9, 10, 11. Oh my gosh. 12. Excellent. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling it. So another exercise that I rather like to do, it's a compound, and there's so many variations of this you can do, but I just I alternate between legs in parallel and legs turned out. So I will go squat together, squat together, turned out together, turned out together, squat together, squat together, turned out together, turned out together. So it's just okay. Squat and back, squat and back, however you prefer to do it. But I'm running out of blinky space over there, so I'm doing it this way. Squat together. And I guess I vary my width as well. Maybe turned out together, turned out together, turned out together, turned out together. Whew. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops, 7, 8, 9, I might stop at 10, 10. Ooh, I'll tell you why. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Do a couple of these. And this is what I mean by intuitive. So I feel like, yeah, like my bicep was craving a little bit of stimulation. And then my legs are resting. Okay. Okay. And Romania deadlift. Okay. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze my butt cheeks. And I can make it 11, 12. And you are always welcome to bend your knees a little. And you'll still get a hamstring stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually that's a little easier on your knees, on the tendon in the medial to your knee patella. I forget what that's called. But I like the hamstring stretch that I get when you don't want your knees completely locked, but if you're just a little pulled up in the thighs and you go over and you try to stay straight as far as you can, you'll really feel it in your hamstring and your glutes a little bit, but you should feel it more in your hamstring until you squeeze your butt cheeks together. Okay, I think that's going to be that for using my hand weights for today. Although I wanted to show you this one other one that I sometimes like to do, and that is also 1 and up and up, and you can do it straight or turned out. I'm kind of doing it somewhere in the middle. And up, and 1, and up. Or another one I like to do is just starting here and overhead. 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6, and you can tell I'm feeling it. I'm starting to shake, so I'm going to take a little break, and in a few minutes, or I might even wait a while, and then I'll do some eccentric exercises with you with the weights. Okay, see you in a minute. Rest, I think like 30 minutes, because I was really feeling it. You have to understand, I've been in bed for 2.5 weeks, basically. Yeah. So, here we go. I'm just gonna do a little bit of extra, I believe this is called eccentric workout. Eccentric is when you release. This is like concentric, eccentric. But this is just when you keep the muscles, you're not contracting them, but they're lengthened and still contracted. So I think it qualifies as eccentric workout. And my weights are 6 pounds, 2, 4, 6, I think I believe they're 6 pounds. And so I'm just gonna, and you've seen me do these before. 1, 2, but it's been probably 3 weeks since I've worked out with my weights. 4, I lost count. 5, 6. My beauty cat. Jasper came to work out with us. Hello. Hi. Okay. So now, I might just throw in a little bit of cut. And cow. The leaves are blowing outside my window. I've got my window cracked. And it's just a gorgeous day. I'll probably go for a very, very short walk after I do this. I don't want to do what I did before, which is jump right back into, I went right back to work. I mean, I even worked sick. I went out to a concert sick. I didn't know I had COVID when I did that, but I think, like I said before, we all just want to jump back into things. Okay, so I'm taking my leg into attitude, which is basically a 90-degree angle behind me, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stretch. Okay. Crossing it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll really feel that in the glute. Cross it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, straight up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Little stretch. I'm going to come back down and I'm going to finish up just with some straight block maw behind me. Turned out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in parallel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Parallel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you will feel that in slightly different places, or you should. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Okay. Yeah. Typically, when I'm healthy, hearty, and hale, I'll do 2 or 3 at least 2, usually 3 sets of 8 or 10, sometimes even 2 sets of 20, just depending. You've probably seen me work out with a little more energy. But I think, like I keep saying, I just don't want to overdo it. So I think I'm going to call it, and I'm going to invite you to reset with me as we approach the dark part of the year. And again, I thank you so much for being here.